Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Divine Empowerment. My name is Joanne, and I'm super, super excited. I have completed your Akashic reading and clearing level 1. Awesome. Also, too, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell because I do live readings, live psychic readings. You can come and ask me questions. All right, so I'm super, super excited about this. Now we're going to be going over a lot of information. Now I write everything out, so I will be reading a lot of it from my iPad as well, just because I don't like to leave anything out. Now the first thing that we're going to be going over is your soul profile. And like I said, it is a lot of information, but it's super, super powerful. All right, the first thing that we're going to discuss is the energy of your soul. It is actually divine masculine energy. Now, that just means that's the primary energy of your soul aspect. Now, it has nothing to do with sex at all. Trust me, I am also masculine energy as well. It just means that we're more connected from the heart chakra up, right? Divine feminines are more connected from the heart chakra down. But of course, we have access to both energies, and a lot of, especially if you're on a Kundalini awakening or a twin flame journey, that's the aspect that you're coming from. All right, now the next thing that we're going to be going over is your primary soul gift. Now, every one of us have all the gifts, all right? There's 8 energy centers. And recently we have brought on activations for the upper chakras 9 through 12 as well. Now, the 8 energy centers make up what's called our divine soul blueprint. However, we each have our own primary gift. This is the gift that makes up the largest portion of our divine soul expression. Awesome. Now, your primary gift is the 5th energy center, which is also the 5th chakra, and it's called divine communication. Oops, it's a little windy. Yes, I'm currently traveling, heading back towards the States, California. I'm also sailing around the world with my twin flame soulmate, and he's getting ready to go back to work, and I'll be wintering in La Paz, Mexico. All right, the 5th energy center, divine communication. This is the energy center of communication, self-expression, and authenticity. This is the realm of the teacher and the written and spoken word. They have a very special relationship with language. Words will have taste and substance for them. They are natural experts at communication. They can become exceptional writers, speakers, or both. They innately know how to inspire and move people into action through words. They excel at helping each other change at the level of thought and mind by introducing new ways of looking at life through the written or spoken word. This often translates into the realm of business within the areas of marketing and sales, where excellent communication skills are key. It is imperative that 5th energy center people use their words in how they make a living. This is often what unlocks abundance for them. It is always important for them to have an audience of sorts to communicate with, whether that's one person or a group of listeners or readers. They are highly verbal people, often constantly talking, teaching, and having whole conversations in their own minds. They always need to talk things through. And one of the greatest gifts anyone can give them is to simply listen and let them work through their thoughts. Work their thoughts through verbally. They are teachers, but are frequently even more comfortable in the realm of the student. They can be avid, lifelong learners and voracious readers. They can be prolific content creators and may be full of ideas of what to write and teach. However, because this is the realm of authenticity, it is vital that they express their own unique opinion and expertise gathered through personal experience and the results they themselves have created. They have strong opinions and perspectives, and their audience will actually come by upholding their unique point of view publicly. They get on little soapboxes and are highly outspoken. Their inner wisdom frequently unfolds spontaneously when they communicate. Most especially, they will find themselves giving excellent advice that surprises even them when they are in conversation. They are a natural channel, and channeling happens in the moment. The negative polarity of this energy center is when their communication falls on deaf ears. Communication, after all, is a two-way street. If nobody is listening or engaging with their communications, fifth energy center people must either find an audience that actually values what they have to say or relay their message differently. If they don't address that nobody is listening, they may fall into inauthenticity and just start communicating what they think people want to hear. Unfortunately, they may also start simply rehashing what they have heard from other teachers or mentors, leading to plagiarism rather than authentic self-expression. Some fifth energy center people have become so conditioned to not speak the truth that they hide in the student role. They will endlessly read, learn, and study, but not actually do anything, because then they might actually have something original to express. It is important that they learn, do, and then teach from their personal experience if they are to unlock the abundance of their divine gifts. If this energy center continues to remain unheard, they will end up in the dysfunctional aspect of their gifts and communicate to no one. Their gifts may come out through unwanted and often inappropriate advice. They may also talk, and talk some more without any regard for who is listening or whether anyone wants to hear it. Their communication style may descend into verbal masturbation. They just talk for the sake of talking. If human beings aren't listening, they might find solace in the spiritual realm. They may journal and channel endlessly without ever publishing or serving the world through their gifts. Now, also too, I do offer services that I highly recommend to anyone new to this work. It's the Divine Soul Blueprint activation and the Manifestation Blueprint activation. Both of those are currently on special for $44.44, and that's US dollars. But what they do is they bring you into alignment with your divine self-expression. I have never encountered anyone that was in full alignment, including myself. And that activation was those two together are so powerful. It will actually make you equally powerful in all the gifts, which is phenomenal. Now, of course, you'll still have your primary gift. It'll still be, the primary. But then suddenly everything else will fall into alignment. This also prevents you from engaging in the negative energy of the energy centers, as well as the dysfunctional aspect. It's super powerful. For myself, I am primary divine power, which is the 7th energy center. But my communication was horrible. I used to talk in parables. No one understood a word I was saying. But since that activation, it's suddenly now I can speak authentically. So powerful, so beautiful. And then, of course, the manifestation blueprint activation brings you into alignment with your original unique recipe for manifestation. Super, super powerful. All right. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going over is your soul group. This is where your soul group, where your soul originates from. You are a starseed, so awesome. Let me pull this up. Let's see here. All right. So you actually come from a planet called Procyon. Procyon souls are a bit of a mystery. They're very drawn to allowing solar energy to nurture their bodies. The practice of I can never say this word, breathorianism It's the breathing technique. Comes from this soul group. Procyons are drawn to sunshine. They love to be outside and need a great deal of light to flourish. They often have very slight, thin bodies and unusual eyes. Procyons ended up on the earth accidentally and feel quite aimless on our planet. Their own planet adopted a more isolationist policy, and souls that were traveling were simply shut out from returning home. They often don't have a clear connection to a sense of purpose and feel a bit lost here at times. They do best supporting others who have a clear sense of direction and purpose. The dysfunctional aspect of this soul group is lack of direction in life. They may try to make others responsible for giving their life meaning and purpose, leading to codependency within relationships. Now, also, too, some more information about Procyons. They weren't like humans, okay? They were more like crystals, okay? And they contain all the knowledge for all the star systems in that planet, which is why they chose to shut the planet down, not shut it down, but it's now isolated from like draconian forces, those type of energies that were trying to steal the information to use it for their own negative manipulations. So definitely you may feel like sometimes like you just don't, like you're from somewhere else, right? And you have this innate sense of having all this knowledge at your fingertips. Well, you can definitely meditate and reconnect energetically to that planet, to your home world. And you can channel information directly from there. Procyons have a unique signature that's allowed to do this. However, if you're not aware of it, then of course you don't really do it. But now that you're aware of it, you can definitely set that intention for meditations. Tap into the energy of your planet and then call forth that knowledge. And being divine communication primary, massive, right? Channeling, writing, teaching, etc. All right. Sorry. I should have brought some water out here with me, but I didn't. All right. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going over is your current soul vibration rate. Now, this is where your higher self is currently vibrating. Now, every time you receive Akashic reading and clearing work, you will shift vibrationally at the level of higher self, also at the level of your physical body. Now, your higher self is currently vibrating at a 5.9. So you're right on the edge of the fifth dimension. And with this reading and clearing, because we cleared thousands of blocks in this first reading, you will shift into the sixth dimension. And every time your higher self goes into a higher dimension, you will gain new levels of awareness, new levels of consciousness, new aspects of yourself to have the human experience with. Super, super powerful. And also too, you will receive lots of downloads. So you will definitely feel this work. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to be discussing is what's called a God spark. Now, positive souls have a God spark. Now, you cannot be in the physical body without a God spark. This is our connection with divine, with the universe, our God. It supplies us with all of our vital life force energy that we use to create our realities with. Now, because we have free will choice, we can make negative choices and consequences for ourselves. So, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, you know, we've actually created a lot of God spark damage to where, you know, there's disease, there's premature aging, you know, pretty much people have been asleep for a long time, right? Just get safely from birth to death. They let their egos drive their lives. So definitely in this whole ascension and awakening process, this modality is so, so powerful in healing that God spark. Now, every time we can't clear everything at once, because you will shift vibrationally, not just at the level of higher self, but at the physical level, which is the densest level. That type of shift would be not only just traumatic, but extremely detrimental to our bodies. We can only clear and what we can comfortably shift at the physical level. So this is ongoing work. Now the follow-up sessions, which I'll get to that in a minute when we get to the clearing work. All right, back to this God spark. Now every time you receive this clearing work, your God spark will be more and more healed. You'll see faster healing in your body. You are going to feel more energetic. Now, also too, which this is awesome because this is very, very rare. You are a candidate for a secondary God spark. Awesome. It's going to be coming in at the 6th chakra. So enhanced psychic abilities, enhanced divine truth, which is also seer, premonitions, clairvoyancy. It will be coming in between 4 to 7 days from now. And you'll feel, you may or may not feel it. For a divine masculine, I know I felt mine. I also received one at the 6th chakra. It felt like a pressure right there on my third eye. If you feel that, just try to relax, take some deep breaths. It took mine about a day. But also too, I've noticed that every time my higher self crosses into a new dimension, I can feel that secondary God spark expanding. So I'll feel again like pressure, and then I can literally feel it like expanding energetically. So that's another really cool thing. Yes, so 4 to 7 days you'll be receiving that. So definitely make sure that you're channeling. You may want to get a notebook and make notes for yourself, because it's going to come in really fast. But it's going to feel amazing. All right, now the next thing we're going to be going over is setting intentions, goals, meditating, prayers. Every time we do these actions, we attract what's called white lights. They're like energetic orbs. Think of them like radio tower waves, right? Hello, universe, I want a new car. It goes out through the white lights and then into the universe for manifestation. Now, once you attract 30 white lights, which you have, awesome, you then start attracting what's called blue lights. Those will be like satellites in space. It goes out over the white lights, and then it's amplified into the blue light, and then amplified for every additional blue light. You currently have 10 blue lights. So you definitely have the network there. So with the activations, the manifestation blueprint and the divine soul blueprint activation, if you decide to get those, you definitely want to be extremely clear with your intentions because you will become extremely powerful at manifesting. And also to make sure that if you're not already doing this, make sure that you're including the emotions that you want to experience because of your manifestation, because of your intentions. That is the key to manifestation, because we can get the perfect job and then have a horrible experience, right, emotionally. So if we list our perfect job with the perfect emotion, because what happens is the universe just fills in. So let's say your life is full of obligation. Well, then it might just jot in obligation. The universe will fill it in. So you want to be very clear with the emotional grid of your manifestations. All right, now you currently do have 5 spirit guides. Now these are your inner spirit guides in your inner circle. These guides are with you 24/7. They're all positive, so yay. Now I do offer spirit guide coaching. You can purchase that with a full soul profile for each spirit guide, as well as channeled messages. Now you can also ask them questions, but that's not necessary because they always have messages. And I'll tell you what, I get such a tickle out of those sessions because spirit guides are truly so funny. All right. And their personalities, it's just so awesome. All right. Now, that was the soul profile. I know that's a lot of information, so please feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you desire. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going over is the actual soul realignment, the actual clearing portion for this reading. Now, remember, we have total free will. We can make negative choices and consequences for ourselves. Now, what tends to happen is that most people are creating 90 to 95% of their reality from their subconscious mind, which are also where the Akashic records come in. So we are currently every choice and consequence. Now, of course, we've been auto-correcting, right? Especially in this lifetime, to where we're trying to get more congruent, we're trying to awaken, we're trying to ascend. So definitely this work is extremely powerful, especially for shadow work. And they're based on intention. So definitely whatever you're trying to manifest or whatever your goals are right now, this reading, I get with your higher self and your spirit guide team, and these are the blocks that we clear. Now, level 1 blocks are held at the 5th dimension, and they're always past lives. Now, I don't go over every single block in this reading because it would take way too long and it would be way too boring. But literally, we clear thousands and thousands. Now, also too, level 1 blocks are the least dense, okay? Now, once you get into level 2 blocks, those are held at the mental body in the 4th dimension. Those are more dense than level 1. And then when you get into level 3 blocks, those are actually held at the 3rd dimension, and they are the densest. I do have a video on my YouTube channel. It's called Akashic Reading and Clearing Blocks. And I go over all the blocks for level 1, 2, and 3 if you want to check that out. Now, also too, now in the follow-up sessions, most clients get them more often in the beginning just to get the momentum going. And it's based on time between and what type of blocks there are. So always email me, and that way I can give you a quote. Now, in follow-up sessions, you may have just level 2, you may have level 2 and 3, or you may have levels 1, 2, and 3. It just depends on the intentions that you're holding up currently, and also too what you can comfortably clear and shift at the physical level. Now, level 1 blocks always come with a past life story. So instead of me going over all the blocks and all of that, I do go over the energies that are behind the densest blocks in level 1. Okay, these are blocks that are created through extreme energy exchange, right? Now, I go over the energies, and then we get into the past life. What happened in that lifetime that created these energetic blocks? Now, I am going to mention one particular block that did come up that we cleared. It was an earthbound spirit. It was actually your grandmother. Now, spirits sometimes do this because there is that deep connection there, or they just kind of like move from one ancestor to another. Now, they're feeding on your vital life force energy, which is not for your highest path and purpose, and it's not for theirs either. They really need to go home, right, and get ready for their next incarnation. All right. Now, also too, I do want to mention that we cleared 1,762 soul contracts that are no longer for your highest path and purpose. And the reason being is because that soul is not incarnated at this time. So subconsciously, your soul is going around trying to complete soul contracts that are impossible to complete. When we clear those, oh my goodness, you talk about increased synchronicity. Wow. Suddenly you're going to be meeting people that you have soul contracts with that is going to help you evolve in even faster, which is so, so powerful. That was probably one of my favorite things. Now, also too, currently there are some negative thought forms that are being created about you and directed at you. Now, I'm going to send you some level 1 homework, and you read over this for 21 days, once a day. But there is a portion in there, and it's a request, and I prefer that you do this at least 3 times a day, this particular quest. But you're just going to say this out loud. I request that all negative thought forms that are currently being created about me or directed at me be cleared at this time. And you're going to see some pretty magical stuff when that happens. Suddenly, you know, especially I noticed it first with my parents, you know, they were constantly, nah, nah. And of course, families do that because they know you best. Suddenly, my parents would look at me and go, wow, you're just so awesome. They could not come up with a single I mean, at first you could see they were sitting there trying to think of something negative, right? They couldn't, because every time you set that intention or you make that request, what happens is the positive thought forms grow and they get denser. So it's like almost impossible for a negative thought form to be created. I still do that to this day, just because it was truly so magical for me. All right, now these are the energies that were cleared. It does not mean that you're never going to experience these energies again. However, I have found that the more reading and clearing work that I've done, the less I'm in those negative polarities. It's like, even now, if I have a negative emotion, it's like, and it's gone. I don't dwell, it doesn't linger. So that does improve dramatically. All right, so these are the energies. Anxiety, dependence, chaos, worry, judgment, doubt, drama, self-criticism, blame, and lack. Okay, now what happened? This actually occurred 351 lifetimes ago. That's not years, that's lifetimes. So it was a long, long, long time ago. And you were actually born as a man in this particular lifetime. But you do prefer being a woman now. You got to think way back when, I mean, women didn't have a lot of power, right? So I can definitely see why we would want to incarnate as men. But now it's like the essence, even though we're divine masculine, I definitely know that the essence of your soul is feminine. I mean, you're best as a female. In this lifetime, you were born into a Celtic pagan tribe. You were a powerful seer, and also the leader of the tribe. You had 3 wives and 12 children. You were happy and abundant. Life was good. Now remember, these energetic blocks are created through extreme drama or trauma, or something bad happens, right? And you have to remember too, the energies were so much denser back then. Yeah, so things were a lot different. Now, one of your daughters decided to marry an enemy clansman from another tribe against your permission. Now, you were a good and golden leader, but you did have some control issues, meaning, you know, you expected your leadership to be carried out to the T. Now, it was very dishonoring for you and your authority to have one of your own children disobey you. Now, during this time, power over tribes or maintaining leadership was fickle, right? And you felt obligated to make an example of your daughter's disobedience. You invaded their home and you captured them. You crucified them publicly, and your wives were distraught, actually traumatized. The mourning was so deep, and your other children were also in a state of shock. You lost your joy and your happiness just like that. And soon you fell into a deep depression. You cursed the gods. You cursed the gods because you did not see this before it was happening. And remember, you are a powerful seer. And in a moment, you made that snap decision. You sacrificed, and because of that, you sacrificed your secondary God spark at the 6th chakra. Your psychic abilities will be, now when this secondary God spark comes in, your psychic abilities will be greatly enhanced, and premonitions will be clearer and more vivid. This is the time to forgive yourself and love yourself unconditionally. All right, beautiful soul. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, or you can make comments on this video. Much love, much gratitude. Blessings into infinity.